Good morning, students. Welcome back to your science class. In the previous day, we have seen about force and friction. In that, we have seen about magnitude of force. What is meant by magnitude of force? Magnitude of force is the strength of the force acting on an object. The magnitude of force depends upon the number of forces involved in a particular action and also the direction in which the object acts. Then we have seen 3 points regarding magnitude of force. First one is when two or more forces are in the same direction, the magnitude of the force will be the sum of the forces. The second case, when two or more forces acts in the opposite direction, the magnitude of the force on the object will be found out by subtracting the first force from the second force. That is the difference between the forces. Then the third case, we have seen that magnitude of the force of an object changes if the force changes. For example, if we apply a small force, the magnitude will be less. But if you increase the magnitude, if you increase the force, the magnitude also increases. For example, if you take an inflated balloon and you apply a small force, it will get inflated, deformed. At the same time, if you increase the force, the magnitude of the force will be, or the magnitude of the force will be more and the balloon will burst. So, these are the things we have to note down when we see about the magnitude of force. Let us do an activity regarding this magnitude of force. So, in this activity, the aim is to study the effect of force on different objects. What are the materials needed for that? You have to take a dough of flour, that is the flour that is used for, or the atta flour, that is chapati flour, and a metal spring, then rubber band and table, chair, a toy car and a ball. The method, how to do this activity. Apply a force with your hand on the dough, that is chapati flour, and see how it affects them. Like the same way, second case, you take the metal spring and apply some force with your hand. The same way what you did in the before. Then repeat the same process using the rubber bands, table, chair, toy car and a ball. What do you observe this in this activity? You will observe that the force exerted has different effects on different bodies. So, this is the first activity. Now, next we have seen about the classification of forces. That is, there are two types of forces, non-contact forces and contact forces. What do you mean by non-contact forces, students? Forces that do not need physical contact with the object on which they are acting are called non-contact forces. Example for non-contact forces are gravitational force, electrostatic force and magnetic force. Then, what do you mean by contact forces? Contact forces means the forces that are applied on an object which are in contact, that is the force that acts on an object when the force is in contact with the object. So, such forces are called contact forces. Example for contact forces are, we have to see that is applied force and frictional force. Now, before going to that contact forces, we have to revise about non-contact forces. First one, gravitational force. What did you understand from gravitational force, students? The force which pulls the objects each other is called gravitational force. We feel that gravitational force is very small. Then, for example, if you take the earth, earth exerts gravitational force on us. That's why we are standing on the earth. Is it not? Otherwise we would have we will be floating, or we cannot stand straight, we will slip down. Like the same way, due to the gravitational force only, the moon and the earth, that is gravitational force makes the earth to move around the sun, as well as the gravitational force makes the moon to go around the earth. Then, so different objects have different gravitational force. Now, suppose if you take the gravitational of the moon, it is about 1/6 of that of the earth. So, that is about gravitational force. Next we have seen is about the electrostatic force. What do you mean by electrostatic force, children? The force between electric charges is called electrostatic force. Now, for example, if you rub a plastic object, a comb or a ruler with your hair and bring it near the bits of paper, tiny bits of paper, the tiny bits of paper will be getting attracted by the plastic ruler or plastic comb. Now, what is the reason? This is due to the electrostatic force. So, when tiny particles of dust and smoke can be attracted by the electrostatic force. So, this electrostatic force principle is used in purifiers in factories to purify the air in chimneys. Okay. So, next one is about magnetic force. What is meant by magnetic force? The force exerted by magnets on each other on metals such as iron, cobalt and nickel is called the magnetic force. Now, magnetic force is used to separate the waste iron objects from the scrap iron or from the garbage dumps. Okay. So, this is about the magnetic force. Today, we are going to see the next type of force, that is contact force. What is meant by contact forces? Forces that act on objects by direct or indirect physical contacts are called contact forces. Forces that act on objects by direct or indirect physical contacts are called contact forces. Now, let us see some examples for contact forces. Examples are applied forces and friction. Okay. So, the examples of contact forces are applied forces and friction. What do you mean by applied forces? The forces that we apply with our hands, legs and fingers are together called as applied forces. Now, suppose for example, if you tie a stone on a thread and if you stretch it in the string, so it opposes the force of gravity of the earth and keeps the stone from falling down, is it not? So, when we do work with our hands, when we lift a box or when we lift a book bag, there or pull an object, all the time the force required is provided by the tension of the muscles. So, due to our muscles only these works are done. So, when we need to apply a force, what is happening there? The brain is sending a signal to the muscle. So, this signal will be sent through the nerve cells, and these nerve cells will make the muscle to get contracted. So, that's why when we apply a force, we are doing our work or we are applying a force with our hands and legs. Okay. Now, let us see an activity. In this activity, the aim of this activity is to observe forces that need direct or indirect physical contact. What are the materials needed? A biscuit, a sheet of paper, a branch of leaves, then rubber bands, dough, string and a pencil. Now, what is the method we are using here? First of all, take all the objects. Now, break the biscuit and tear the paper. Then pluck the leaves from the branch. Next, you pull or stretch the rubber band and make different shapes using the dough or chapati flour. Now, what do you understand from this? What do you conclude from this? In each of the above cases, we are exerting a force on each object by touching it, is it not? So, that is called as direct physical contact. That is called as contact force. So, whenever we are doing this or breaking the biscuit or tearing the paper, plucking the leaves, then pulling the rubber bands, or when we are making different shapes using the chapati flour, we are applying different forces. We are having the object, and object is touched with the force with our hand. So, that is called as contact force. Okay. So, this is the second activity. Next one is, in the contact forces, we have seen about applied forces. Next contact force is friction. What is meant by friction? Friction is the force that offers resistance when two surfaces in contact move or try to move with respect to each other. Now, the force of friction comes into play when two surfaces are in contact. Now, friction is a force that offers resistance when two surfaces in contact move or try to move with respect to each other. Now, when you see a bus plying on the road, what will you see? The wheel of the bus is in contact with the road. So, it experiences a frictional force, or it is a contact force. Next one is, what are the factors that affect friction? Friction is depending upon two factors. The first one is mass of the object, and the second one is nature of the surfaces in contact. Now, first of all, we will see about the mass of the object. Now, if the object is heavier, the frictional force will be greater. If the object is having less or lighter, then the lesser frictional force will be there. For example, suppose if you see the container lorry is having heavy loads, it will make a lagging sound, is it not? So, that is due to greater frictional force between the tire of the lorry as well as between the surface of the road. Then next one is nature of the surface in contact. That is, if a rough surface, if a rough road is there, then it will have a greater frictional force. If a smooth road is there, it will have a less frictional force. So, this is the second factor. So, there are two factors that affect friction. First one is mass of the object, and the second one is the nature of the surfaces in contact. Now, let us see the different types of friction. We will see about the two types of friction, that is static friction and kinetic friction. Static friction and kinetic friction. Now, what do you mean by static friction? What do you mean by kinetic friction? Now, the surface of the road or the force of friction between two surfaces always depends upon whether the surfaces are moving with respect to each other or not. The first one is static friction. The force of friction that holds a stationary object from slipping is called static friction. For example, we are standing on the ground. We are not slipping on the slope because of the static friction between our shoes as well, or between our chappal as well as on the surface of the slope. Then, the second one is kinetic friction. What is meant by kinetic friction? The force of friction that slows down a moving object and bring it to stop. That is, it will stop at the last. So, that is called as kinetic friction. For example, if you slide a book on your table and leave it, what will happen? It will slow down and come to stop because of kinetic friction. So, this is about static friction and kinetic friction. Now, what are the causes of friction? The causes of friction, we will see two explanations regarding the causes of friction. First one is, this friction is a very complex phenomenon, and we have to see that if the surface is smooth, suppose if you see that smooth surface through a microscope, you can see some ups and downs, that is hills and valleys like. Also a lot of irregularities will be seen under the microscope. So, when these two surfaces slide over each other, there will be a resistance to move, or it will have a resistance to motion, is it not? So, that is the first factor. The second factor is, another theory explains that when two surfaces are coming in contact with each other, their atoms and molecules, they will pull each other due to the electrostatic force. So, what they will do? The two surfaces will stick to each other. They will stick to each other. Then, when we try to slide the surfaces with respect to each other, they offer a resistance to motion. So, this is about the factors of frictional force. Now, let us see two more frictional forces or two more frictions, that is sliding friction and rolling friction. What do you mean by sliding friction? Sliding an object or frictional force that offered when object is sliding. When an object is sliding is called sliding friction. The frictional force offered when an object is sliding is called sliding friction. For example, suppose you have a box and you make the box to slide on a surface. That is called sliding friction. That experiences a sliding friction. What is meant by rolling friction? The frictional force offered when a rolling object is experiencing a rolling friction. So, what is meant by frictional rolling friction? The frictional force offered when rolling an object is called rolling friction. For example, a ball is rolling on the surface. You have seen so many pictures on page number 153 in the textbook. These are all examples of rolling and sliding friction. Okay, today's class that much only, students. So, once again we have seen about the contact forces. The first one is the applied force. The forces that we apply with our hands, legs and fingers are collectively called as applied forces. Then, for example, when we tie a stone on a string and suspend it, it will not fall down due to the force of gravity. So, that is the first one. The second one is friction. Friction is the force that offers resistance when two surfaces are in contact, move or try to move with respect to each other. Under that we have seen about the two factors, that is friction depends upon mass of the object as well as nature of the surfaces in contact. Next we have seen about static and kinetic friction. Then what are the causes of friction? Then the last we have seen about, according to the another theory, we says that friction between when two surfaces are in contact with each other, the atoms and molecules, they will be pulled each other due to the electrostatic force, and due to that they stick to each other under the microscopic level. So when we try to slide the surface with respect to each other, they offers a resistance to move or they offers a resistance to motion. So that's all today's portion, children. Thank you.